combination of a couple simple things. The first one is letting go of all the crap that's monopolizing your current mind space, okay, your current mental bandwidth. Your mental bandwidth is being completely over-monopolized. Do a quick audit of yourself about how much you think of all this nonsense, and what are you going to see? Your bandwidth is completely monopolized. Got it? We have to get rid of that. Most of you are not present to the moment very often. Only way you can get present to the moment is when you're skiing, listening to music, maybe playing a video game or something. You don't have the tools to get there on your own, which means that most of your life, you're thinking about biological drives. I'm hungry, I'm horny, I'm cold, I'm hot, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You're thinking about your ego. You're in complete ego defense, which you're like, okay, how do I look? Am I look cool? Do I not look cool? What does this person think of me? You realize this is all autopilot. This isn't even you. These are literally just biological functions that are running. You think that you're the one thinking it, you're not. And by the way, these thoughts are so fleeting because you're going to die someday. So even if you get into the perfect life situation, you're still going to die someday. So there's nothing there that could even continue beyond that. I mean, think about it. If 99% of your thoughts are just ego, biological drives, and then some random social conditioning that somebody put in your head, what would even continue after you're dead? I mean, the body's dead, so the biological drives are not continuing. The body's gone. Why would you care if you're hot or cold? The ego, as far as like, oh, do I look cool, do I not? Well, you're dead now. That doesn't matter. The social conditioning, which was other people's opinions, well, those opinions will continue on, but you as being a vessel for them, that doesn't matter. So if most of your mental bandwidth is consumed in ego, biological drive fulfillment, and just other people's opinions, what would even continue on after you're gone? Think about this for a minute. This is why I talk about having a rebirth, a second birth. Now that's a dramatic term. I get that. I'm not saying anything. I'm not going to like, make like a, a big hole here to like flush you out of with like water in a water slide. Although I may be onto something, so no promises there. But, a future event perhaps. But I'm freaking out. Okay, so the main thing here being though, but I want to be a little bit theatrical or dramatic as far as thinking of it within a term of being reborn, because really one of the main emphasis here, it's not just giving you practical skills so that you can fulfill those biological drives even more, right? It's not just to make more people like you or to make you able to live in a better house or to make more money or so on and so forth. That's something that you should get anyway. That's something that we should be able to get, to honor your biology, to honor your ego as a part of you and get it to where the ego is getting what it needs, your biology is getting what it needs. I want to cover that kind of stuff that will move you in those directions. Practical stuff, day-to-day stuff. But at the same time, I also want to get it where there's something proactive that's being reborn in you. There's something that's being birthed into you, okay? So the kind of shift that you'll have, if you want to just say it in a practical terms, is that most of you right now are living from outside in, okay? You're getting external input, and you're being moved too much in reaction to that external input. It's like being, this kind of leaf in the wind blowing around. Something that I've expressed in other videos is that this genuinely terrifies me, because I believe that people being asleep and not having something in them that is proactive leads towards, not to be dramatic, but mass murder is what I believe. I believe there's a huge amount of mass murder in the world, and I believe that most of that occurs because of a lack of proactivity in most people, okay? Because what most people call like, oh, that's a nice guy. To me, that nice guy who just like puts his eyebrows up, it's just like, yeah, like that. Like they're kind of just like going along with the crowd. They look really nice, but those same people that are basically kind of like what you call the sheep, in effect, they're not sheep, they're human beings, but they can have those kind of attributes of they just go with the crowd. Those same people that look super nice, I don't trust them. Like, I don't trust those people. Like, people would look at you from yesterday, and they think that you're trustworthy. I don't trust you. I would be more likely to trust a criminal over you. You want to know why? Because you're easily pushed around. You just are. So when some bad leader comes into power, which in certain countries they do, and they're like, yeah, let's go get all this group, it's always people like that are like, okay, just following orders. That's what the boss said to do, and they go do it. So this is why I want to help you to change your life, but I also have a higher purpose here of creating leaders, of creating the kind of people that would put a stake in the sand and say, wait, that's not okay. We have to do the right thing here. Just because some higher person said to do this doesn't mean that I do it. Somebody who thinks for themselves, somebody who's able to audit situations. One of the things that you'll see me like flip out about a lot whenever I'm teaching is whenever my camera team doesn't take initiative, right? Say there's some really great moment, and my camera team doesn't think to go get up and get the camera in. I'm like, you know why that bothers me? Because in my mind, I'm like, you're the person that would be part of the mass murder. That's what I'm thinking. The same thing that makes them not go get the video of, like, you know, say the guy's having a transformational moment and they don't think to put the camera up properly, that's the same thing that creates murder in my view. Because it's called derping. Derping is the main reason we have this massive threat. Most of our biggest problems in the world are from derping. The average person is stuck in such a paradigm that they're not even thinking about, like, they're literally just like, well, you know, there's these problems in the world, there's these problems in the world, there's these leaders that are doing horrific things. But hey, man, just following orders. I'm hungry. It's not cool to be contrarian. I'm just kind of hungry. You know? Hope I can hook up tonight. Do I look cool? That person just trashed me. That's not cool. That's what they're thinking about. So they're easily manipulated. Okay? So part of this work is like, yes, I want to show you how to 10x your income. Really, I do. And 10x, like when I'm saying 10x, I just don't want to like over-exaggerate it. I can't guarantee anything, okay? You've got to go do it. I'll show you paths that I've seen to work. You've got to be the one to go do it. I want to show you how to be better socially. I want to show you how to have more fun socially, how to be happier, how to find your core strengths, how to look at your life and build a life of your own design. We're going to be covering all of that. That's all going to get covered. A lot of the pettiest little things that you want, I want to help you to get those. Okay, the most petty things you want, like ego gratification and people thinking you're cool and the kind of dating life that you want and money and like I want to get you all that, okay? I'm going to show you because I enjoy that stuff. Anybody that says they don't enjoy that stuff, I think is being snooty. We're living beings in a human experience, right? So I want to show you the tools that I would use to get that. And I'm going to show you that and I'm going to force this transformation because I've got to be like a personal trainer here. That said, though, the major theme of this weekend is waking up. It's about being reborn. What does that feel like to my subjective experience and to my friend's subjective experience? Most people, what they're doing is their emotions are up and down, up and down, up and down. They walk into a situation, they feel like they're in competition with people, they're trying to figure out how to, like, when to say the right thing, trying to avoid negative social feedback, they're kind of shy, they're trying to hear other opinions, they're trying to see what's cool, so on and so forth. And again, their emotions are up and down, up and down. There's also a lot of very dense thought patterns in the mind. It's very, very dense. And believe it or not, it's actually sucking the life out of them. It's actually aging them too quickly. That density of thought, it's running down their health. It's causing sickness. It's causing physical sickness. It's accelerating aging unnecessarily, and so on and so forth. It also means, here's the big one, they cannot unleash genius. That's another, okay? The first theme of this event is waking up. Say this with me. Waking up. The second theme is unleashing genius. Say this with me. Okay? Another one is proactivity. Okay? Another one is enjoyment of life. Say this with me. Okay? And a big one is authenticity of your experience. Okay? So I really believe that a lot of our consumer culture has robbed us of the authenticity of our human experience. There's many people who lived for millions of years before us that I believe had a far more authentic life experience than we do in the modern age. I'm not suggesting to scrap it. I'm not one of these, people that's like, I'm not like going to, go live on the farm or something. Well, it could be cool, but that's not my current game plan. I live in the Hollywood Hills, so clearly that's not the direction I'm taking. Okay, I do posh parties in the hills. I'm not living on a farm, even though maybe I'll do that when I'm older. But you see the point here, right, is that I want to show you how to have an authentic life. So we're going to be talking about your core strengths, how to maximize income opportunities, how to do marketing, how to be effective as a salesman, how to be an ambassador for your brand, how to be somebody who can be viewed as a living legend within your niche. All that, we'll be covering that. I'll be showing you all the same communication tools that I would do in dating, how to talk and talk forever, how to talk in a way that's high status so that people, men and women, all people are attracted to you, to make people want to network with you. I'll show you how to create systems and structures to bring people into your life, basically through a funnel to where all the best people are coming through your life, and then show you how to zap into core strengths so that you're focused on them, and then how to find people that can collaborate with you on those core strengths and make more money. I'll show you exact tools to release tension, to release trauma, how to get out of your own way, how to make it where your life is just in the flow and going for it and a more authentic experience all the while. That's very, very important. You're going to love that. It's just going to be a better life. But more important, I want to shift you so that your subjective experience is where you feel more present to the moment. You feel almost like an energy body inside yourself of when you'd be very happy, and you don't feel that you need as much. You don't need as much. Right now, you need too much, okay? And most of you have very hungry eyes. That's the problem there. You have very hungry eyes. Look at each other. You may not see it in yourself, but look around the room. You're seeing people that are scared. They're afraid of death. They're afraid of annihilation. They're afraid of how they stack up to other people. They're afraid that they're going to run out of energy. They feel scarcity. And they're just thinking how to get what they need. How do I just get fulfilled? Then there's these certain highly charismatic people that look like they've got it all figured out. They look like they have what they need, and they look like the source of energy that are beaming it out to other people. And you can see that right in their eyes. They're energetically, and as far as core competencies, on a completely different level. And that is what I'm looking to get you to here, okay, at this 4-day self-help event. I'm trying to get you to come here. Why do we work together? We work together to make these shifts. So that is what I want to see by the end of the 4th day, is these major, major shifts. I want you to have a practical game plan. Not that you heard from me in some video that you've got to try to memorize, but I want to do exercise-based and auditing-based so that you're really doing it. You're having the transformation. You're having the tools, and they're in your muscle memory. So that even if you're dumb, you don't even need to understand what I'm going to teach you. You can be dumb. It doesn't matter. But I want you to. I'm going to give you tools actually to wake up parts of your intellect you don't even know you have. It's going to be, that thing that I can do where I can always just come up with stuff. Do you guys understand the ability to which I can respond to marketing situations, business situations, product creation? Do you understand the speed at which I can create products? Do you understand how quickly I can look at the market, see where the market's going, determine it at the highest level, and just switch on and understand it and get it? For me, this is easy, very easy. And yet, for most people, it's like a mystery. They don't get it. Why is that? What is it? What, because I've had some kind of special superpower? No. These are functions in you, potentials in you that I want to wake up. You should be on that same level. There's nothing that I'm doing that you also can't do. You can do this. Just your brain is in a derp state. You're asleep right now. Even if you're awake, because I know some of you in this room are quite awake, you can be more awake. We can build it more, okay? I want to get it to where you're quick. You're mentally quick. Let me be real. Most people that I talk to, they've got hungry eyes, they're operating very slow, and they're derping. Their brain isn't aware of the what else moment. They're not tapped in. They don't know how to get to the next thing. They're completely monopolized. You know when you go talk to someone who you're intimidated by and all you're thinking, where's your bandwidth? Where is it? Oh, what do they think of me? What's the right thing to say? And then you shut down. You have nothing to say. Then you look at somebody who's so charismatic in front of attractive people. Their dating life is crazy. They seem to always have the right words on the tip of the tongue. They don't struggle with it. Is it because they're smarter than you? No. It's because the bandwidth isn't being monopolized by all the negative programming that you have in there now. And these hungry eyes that you have, and this low energy situation that you have where you run out of energy so quickly, you're not feeding off of energy. It's almost like I got to be like a chiropractor. I've got to get you realigned here, okay? So a lot of this is going to be realignment and waking up aspects. Because what I see in most people's eyes is hunger. There's a thirstiness. I also see them asleep in a half derp state. I see them not operating off their core potential. And a really big one is I see that you don't have systems. Part of the confidence that I have is from having built systems. There's systems in my life. I have social systems for my dating life. It's not just like, oh, I have self-love. It's that too. But it's also that I understand how to build a system. I understand how to build a system in business, in work. There's so many areas that if I was working in, I would be undervalued. But I understand what my core strengths are, how to create a system around that core strength so that people value me and chase me for my time and compensate me. Each and every one of you in this room has core strengths that you should be getting compensated at a high 6-figure or even into 7 or 8 figures of your income. But you don't know what your core strengths are. You don't know what to build on. And then what you're going to do is you just got to pay your rent. So now you're just going to take whatever's in front of you, and then you're going to get stuck in some job that you hate, and your main purpose in life is, can't wait till Friday to get off from it. What a nightmare. I don't believe in that. You know, a big reason I want to teach dating was I feel that there's like someone for everybody. I feel that everyone should get to have the experience in dating where they get to date around a bit, see who they like, get to have some kind of wild, kinky experiences, and then eventually meet a great partner. That was why I taught dating. The thing that I love about being good at dating is you can meet someone who's a great fit for you. You ever dated someone that's just the wrong fit, but you do it anyway because you don't know a lot of it, you don't have a lot of other options, and you just don't want to be lonely? You don't want to have to be stuck every night just by yourself, so you just start dating someone who you shouldn't be dating, and it doesn't fit. Versus when you're dating someone who it's an easy fit, it's just like magic. Part of why I want to teach people how to approach people, how to meet new people, is so they can go meet those people. I feel that also both genders benefit, all genders benefit. Why is that? Because they're meeting people that are their right fit. I've never wanted to date somebody. I mean, I'm cool to have a fun, wild, kinky experience with anybody that wants to share that kind of energy with me. But as far as who I'm going to date in a longer term, I want to be with somebody who I offer value to. I want to be with somebody who thinks what I have to offer is cool. I don't want to have to change myself and adapt myself to someone who I'm not in order to please somebody else. Now, I don't want to be lazy either, don't get me wrong here, but I want to be that aligned, awake, present version of myself that I describe here and meet somebody who appreciates that. My biggest kink in dating is someone who appreciates me. That's what I like. I like it when they really desire me. It makes me feel good. That's my number one thing above anything, above all else. Even if a girl's way less physically attractive, if she just wants me so bad, that's the biggest thing that's a turn on for me. The kind of intimacy that you're going to have like that is hundreds of times better than maybe just someone who's very physically attractive and they're kind of just like letting you have access. And you're kind of just like, okay, you know, right? They're like, right? That's not as nearly as fun as somebody who's just dying to see you, in my view, okay? Well, likewise, I feel that way in work, right? How much better is it for me to be sitting here in a room of people where you guys are all coming up to me and you're like, I can't believe I'm meeting you. This is so cool. This is amazing. You're my hero, or things like that. I'm like, this is awesome. Like, why can't everybody live like this? You can. You can be the hero for the people who you're a leader for. You absolutely can. That's what I'm here to show you. I'm not here to show you why I'm the cool guy. I'm here to show you and take you through a process where you're the cool guy or girl. It's about you. This is your experience. So that's what I want to do for you here. We're going to go through a process where it's a combination of a few different things here, okay? First of all, it's showing you how to have what I'd almost call an interfacing system, okay? What is that? You can have all the skills in the world, but if you don't know how to market them and interface with other people to show them they're out there, you won't get compensated, right? So the first thing is I've got to show you how to communicate at the highest level, right? Some of the best guys can't get a date to save their lives, as an example. Why is that? Incredible guys can't get a date. Meanwhile, some like drugged out club promoter, I have a lot of friends club promoters, so I got to be careful here, but, you know, and they're awesome. But many of them are drugged out, and like whacked out, drugged out club promoter winds up having a 1,000 times better dating life than some amazing person that's adding value to the world. Why is that? Because the club promoter has an interfacing system, right? Inherent in their job is they're meeting a lot of people. Well, I'm not saying become a club promoter. Do that if you want. It actually could be pretty fun, but that's not what I'm suggesting here. What I'm saying is you've got to have some kind of system to interface with people. If you don't have your communication down, you can build all the skills in the world, but you can't interface with people. So we've got to get that down. Likewise, we've got to get down your core motivations. We've got to figure out what's driving you and make it where it's like a magnet that's pulling you along. I don't want you to have to feel tired all the time and feel like it's always this uphill battle. I want you to feel like you're running downhill, right? Look, if somebody's running downhill, they're always going to be running faster than someone running up a hill, right? So we've got to move it so it's not so painful for you and you're running downhill. That means you've got to get to your core strengths. From that understanding of your psychology, you're going to understand the psyche a lot deeper. That's going to teach you empathy. Now imagine you combine those things. You're a very powerful communicator and marketer. You understand what your core strengths are. You have incredible empathy and ability to market that or meet new people. You create systems around that. You're waking up and moving up in your spirit and internally so that you can enjoy it more and so that you can actually, well, the big one from this is that you can be proactive is really what it is. Because if you're in reaction, like if we don't wake you up, here's the problem. If I don't wake you up, here's the problem. All that we're going to be doing is just feeding the biological drives and feeding the ego. There's no you that's being fed. We're just showing you how to get a better version of I'm hot, I'm cold. And I know a lot of you are like, that's just kind of what I want. Yeah, that's because you're asleep though. You don't even have a context for what else you'd want. So you're like, yeah, like just like sex and money and food and a better house. Sounds great, right? Yeah, let's get that. But let's make it like, you know what's funny? What's that old expression, right? Like to solve the problem or to fix a problem, you don't solve it at the paradigm at which it was created. I don't want to just create a better external life. Let's do that, but let's make that as a manifestation of something that's happening inside of you so that it's aligned. Let's make it to where you have that stuff, but you could also be just as happy not to have it. And what that means is that there's something in you where you don't need it. You're not hungry. And what that means is that you're acting from proactivity. Say the word act from proactivity. Okay, you're acting from a proactive space. Acting from a proactive space, what that means is that you're not making decisions that were conditioned into you. You're not like, oh, I saw that in a magazine. I think that that's what's cool, so I'm going to live up to that. Because if you do that, you're a puppet. Okay, say don't be a puppet. Okay, if you're just getting something put into you from an outside source, in effect, you're just a puppet. You will literally burn your life out playing out somebody else's script. So we've got to get it to where, rather than you being in this kind of derp state of your bandwidth's all monopolized and heavy, very dense thought patterns, fulfill biological drives in this desperate way, scarcity, which by the way is messing up your, it's making it, it's like a knot in your back or something that needs to be massaged out, because what's happening is when you're in that mode, you're not in your genius. So the irony is that this desperate hunger that you have, these hungry eyes, ironically is the exact thing stopping you from getting what you want. That's the irony, right? If you didn't need this stuff, you'd have the bandwidth to go get it. If you didn't need it, you'd have the bandwidth to go get it. Then people say, well, why would I even do it at that point? First of all, that's your lower self that doesn't want to die, talking right there. But second of all, think about it. Many of you guys in this room would love to meet a more attractive partner, right? You would kill to do it. Think of how great it would be to come home every night to some incredible person who you can have intimacy with every night and just like, oh, it's epic, right? Isn't it awesome? But then you meet that person. Does that super high level hunger you have move you towards that goal? No, it's that need that's the exact same thing that's stopping you from getting that. Because you can't even think of what to say. If you were just talking to like your niece, would you run out of things to say? You'd be joking around with her, you'd be having fun with her. You're not gonna run out of things to say because you don't want anything from her. You wouldn't run out of things to say. But you meet someone you want something from, your bandwidth goes, it locks down, right? It completely locks down. That's why a major theme in this event is gonna be control muscles versus release muscles. Control muscles versus release muscles. We wanna get it to where when you meet someone, you go into release. And what happens is you actually think less. And then when you think less, the game slows down for you. Everything's gonna slow down. To somebody looking at you, you will seem like the wittiest person in the world. It seems like you're thinking more quickly. But to you, you're in God mode. You're in slow-mo in that experience. So for you, like to the outside world, it's like, you ever see The Matrix where Neo's like, it looks like it's like bump, bump, bump like this, but then in his world, it's just like, he's just dodging the bullets like super slow. That's what we're talking about here. It will look superhuman to the outside world, but in your world, it's moving slow. I believe in your potential, and particularly your untapped potential. You have the potential to do this. I believe that most people before modern society live like this. You think that hunters weren't doing this? This would have been the most average, normal thing in the world. But yet in our society, it's like, really? Neo in the oh, wow. But to a normal person, that would have looked completely normal, okay? So what we want to do is we want to wake up a lot of potentials that you have, that you're unaware of that you have. We want to get you into your strength zone. We want to get you hardcore knowledge and skills. And we want to get it to where energetically inside, you're already feeling fulfilled. And because of that, you have way more bandwidth. And then you can apply that bandwidth into getting those things that you would have wanted now anyway. Except instead of wanting them and not getting them, the things you want, health, wealth, relationship, higher purpose, you actually get. So that dream life that you'd want, you actually have the capacity to build it, okay? And it's taken me decades to get on top of this to the point that I feel completely comfortable teaching it. I'm really right at the tail end of that kind of living hell that I had to go through of different experiments and things that I tried and really big mistakes that I made. I mean, I've made huge mistakes for sure, even in the past 5 years, major mistakes that I'm embarrassed about. But going through those mistakes and having the knowledge firsthand, I can see where the pitfalls are on the road. So I can create a map for you and be like, okay, there's a pitfall here, a pitfall here, a pitfall here. And then I can show you exercises and understandings at a deep level. And because I've lived it and been through it, you're gonna feel that authenticity coming from me, and it's gonna make a big impact on you and leave a big impression on you, okay? So can you guys already feel some excitement building for this weekend? Yeah. Okay, could you guys give yourselves a hand right now? Because you got to get ready to start. Okay, we're going to go through this, okay? And this is going to be a powerful experience we're going through together. Now, what I want you guys to do is I want you to take 5 minutes to just get up and meet some of the other people here. I know you've been doing it. Anyone that you haven't met yet, go shake hands with, meet each other, and just talk about your background or why you're here. Do it for 5 minutes, 7 minutes, because I want to create a group vibe here, okay? A lot of the networking and opportunities that you're going to do here is why we come live. So let's just start with that, and then we're going to crack into the exercises and start working on this. Take 5-7 minutes.
精神带宽这个词呢，泰勒反反复复在这个视频里面体现。那么到底什么是精神带宽呢？精神带宽其实是由普林斯顿大学的一个心理学教授和哈佛大学的精神学教授他们共同著作的一本书叫《稀缺》中提出的这本书呢，他们用精神带宽来描述人们的认知、资源和心理能力，并指出贫穷会消耗人们的精神带宽，影响他们的决策和行为。当人们长期属于这种状态时，他们会把大量的精神带宽用于应对于眼前的困难和压力，导致用于其他方面的认知资源变少。 从而引发一系列的问题。后来这个概念呢，广泛被用于心理学、经济学、管理学等各个领域用来解释人们在面对压力、信息过载、任务的情况下的一种行为。当你真正解放了精神带宽的时候你会发现一个全新的自己，一个不再受限于生物本能的社会观念的自由灵魂。你不再会受限于我们的生命本能和社会观念在当今的世界中许多人都被无所谓的事情占据了精神带宽，他们的思维呢被生物本能和社会观念所主导。这些自动化的思维模式呢，让人无法真正的去活在当下，导致他们没有办法去真正的实现我们内在的自我。正如你在刷抖音的时候听音乐的时候，或者玩游戏的时候提的那种短暂的专注，我们需要找到一种方法来解放我们的精神，摆脱这些无所谓的占据和空虚。如果说你还是被这些冗杂的事情把你的精神带宽给占据了你可以到我们的研讨会里面来，对吧？我们这里面有各行各业的群友或者有光谱的一个老师，都会有一个深入的链接，以此来提高自己的角色质量和行为表现，好吗？大多数人的生活都被生物本能所驱动，比如说饥饿口渴等等需求，或者是被自我防御的心理所主导，如关心他人对自己的看法呀。然而这些想法是转瞬即逝，并且并非我们真正的自我的一个思考，只是生物学自动驱动的功能在运作。当这些占据了我们大部分精神带宽的思维，你的生命不应该只是生物本能和外在观念的混合体，而是一个独特且主动的一种存在，能够在关键的时刻引领他人。真正的重生并不是一种仪式，而是一种内在的觉醒，一种新的自我的诞生。通过这种重生我们不再只是从外到内的被动的反应，而是能够主动的掌握自己的生活。我们不会像一片飘荡的树叶，而是能够坚定的立足，勇敢的表达自己的主见。这种状态的转变不仅仅可以帮助我们能够获得物质上的成功，比如说像赚钱住进更好的房子更重要的是它能让我们成为有主见、有正义感的领导的人。许多人在社交和日常的生活中常常感到被单一的负面的思想所垄断，无法转移注意力，因而无法触及更高层次的自我。试想当你与一个让你望而生畏的人交谈时，你的思绪被这个人会怎么看我，我应该怎么说才对，这样的想法所充斥的时候你的大脑的带宽被彻底的占据。结果是什么？结果是你陷入沉默，无法自如的应对。所以说真正的自由不是摆脱约束，而是在重新校准内在，去唤醒你的内心深处的力量。而那些看似总能轻松应对社交场合拥有精彩约会生活的人，并非他们比你更聪明而是因为他们的精神带宽没有被负面的心理程序所垄断，他们没有带着渴求的眼神和低能量的一种状态，而是他们随时随地在摄取能量，保持高效。其实我们每个人都有自己的核心优势，觉得自己应该获得高的收入，但大多数人并不知道自己的优势是什么，也不知道自己在哪方面应该去发力，很迷茫。结果呢，很多人呢常常忙于奔波，忙于生计生命的主要的一个盼头呢，就是希望早早下班，年复一年，日复一日，陷入一种这种噩梦般的生活。而我们泰勒就说了系统化的生活呢，不仅能够让你在事业上取得成功，更能让你在社交和约会中找到真正的满足和快乐。那到底什么是系统化的一个生活呢？接下来他会有讲。他认为每个人的生活都应该有机会去体验高质量的约会和生活，通过来主动接触新人也好，或者尝试不同的约会对象也好，最终找到一个真正的一个合适的伴侣。与其和一个不合适的人去勉强维持关系，这样只会带来更多的孤独和不满。而与一个非常喜欢的人在一起的时候，则会自己感到轻松和愉悦。在工作和生活中呢，很多人都渴望成为别人心目中的英雄，受到尊重和钦佩。这不仅仅是关于拥有技能的问题还涉及到如何展示自己，和别人建立一种有效联系的一个问题。这就是他在下文所提到的接口系统。如果说你只拥有技能而缺乏展示和沟通的能力，那么这些技能呢，将没有办法给你带来相有的一个回报。很多有天赋的人呢，无法获得他们应得的一个机会，而看似一些平凡的人却能在社交中如鱼得水。这并不是因为他们更聪明，而是因为他们有一个有效的接口系统。这些人知道如何和他人建立联系，并充分的展示自己的价值， 比如说我们的这个，你们可以看到啊，夜总会的这个营销，对吧？他们好的一个营销呢，就是一个典型的一个成功的例子，因为他们的工作本质上呢是一种社交需求，需要建立广泛的人际网络。然后呢，这个建立接口系统呢，只是第一步啊，更重要的是找到驱使你前进的这个核心动机。每个人都有自己的核心优势啊，但如果不清楚这些优势是什么的话，你将无法充分的利用它们。通过理解自己的核心动机，它可以成为自己的一种磁力，引导你自然的向前。你就不会感到疲惫不堪了。通过更深层次的领悟人性，你可以更好的和他人建立联系，成为一个有影响力的沟通者。将这些能力结合起来的时候啊，创立自己的系统，内在的精神呢也会觉醒和升华，你就能获得更多的享受和满足，找到驱使你前进的核心动机，它将成为你生活中的磁力，引导你自然的奔向成功。最后呢，这个主动性呢是关键。被动反应只会让你满足于生物的一种本能和自我，而无法滋养你的真我。我们可以通过主动出击，建立系统的方法，你可以实现心灵的觉醒啊，不再被动的应对生活中的各种条件，而是主动的去掌握自己的命运，超越被生物本能和外部社会观念所驱动的状态，通过内在的觉醒和主动生产的状态，实现真正的自由。不要被外界的影响所迷惑啊，不要成为外界影响的傀儡，而是去主导自己的生活啊，发掘和发挥自己的内在。现代生活中啊，很多人常常沉迷于对物质的追求，比如说性、金钱、美食和更好的房子。这虽然能够带来一些一时的满足，但真正的幸福和自由远不止于此啊。我们常常听到一句话，就是要解决一个人的问题，就不能停留在产生这个问题的表层上。这意味着我们要超越一些简单的物质需求，去进入更高层次的内在觉醒。真正的自由不是通过外在的物质追求所获得的，而是通过内在的觉醒和主动生产的状态所实现的。其实我们大多数人尚处于一种催眠的状态，他们甚至没有意识到除了这些外在的物质需求之外，他们还有更深层次的一个渴望。为了获得真正的自由和幸福呢，我们首先要做的就是解放精神带宽，摆脱被生物本能和社会观念所驱动的状态，这样我们才能够面对生活的挑战，保持内心的平静和满足，而不是被外界的因素所牵制。具有讽刺意味的是正是我们那种渴求的眼神，恰恰是阻碍我们获得所求的最大障碍。当你们不再需要那些东西的时候，你们反而会更轻松的获取它们，因为我们的这种精神带宽得到了释放。当你真正遇到这样的人的时候你发现那种强烈的渴求感需求感已经不存在了，就是因为这种需求阻碍了你的所求。当你接触那些你想要从他们那里得到某些东西的人的时候，你会发现你自己没有什么话可说，因为你的精神带宽被压缩了，你的思维负荷过重。当你释放控制，减少思维负荷的时候你就会发现原来难以实现的目标呢也会变得触手可及。比如说你跟小朋友互动的时候，你就不会有这样的问题，因为你对他们没有任何的企图，你会跟他们开玩笑打闹，因为你跟他们处于一种非常放松的状态。这说明就是与别人互动的时候我们要进入一种这种释放的状态，而不是一种控制的状态。当你能够释放自我的时候你的思维实际上会减少，一切都会为你放慢脚步。所以说只有当你的内心获得足够的满足时，你才会有更多的一种精神带宽。这些都可以运用于你真正想获取的东西，就是说你不再会因为渴求而变得无法获得，你就会变得就是说能够实现自己的一个更高层次的一种人生目标。这是一种内外一致的一种状态。所以说强烈的渴求是阻碍成功的最大敌人，就是我们过度渴求一个结果反而会阻碍我们去获得它。只有放下执念以平常的心去对待，才能吸引到美好的人和事。就像我们约会一样，其实约会就是一个很好的例子。当我们满怀期待的去见心仪的对象的时候反而会变得紧张笨拙，甚至说不出话来。当我们轻松愉悦的时候，只是单纯的享受这种交流的时候，反而能够很自然的展现出自己有魅力的一面。这就是给我们的启示，就是在人际交往中真诚和自然往往比刻意的伪装它更具有吸引力。执着和渴求有时候会成为我们实现这种梦想的最大障碍。当我们过于去在意结果的时候，患得患失的时候，就会失去了专注当下的一种能力。只有说我们放下了对结果的执念才能够彻底释放出我们的一个潜能。所以说这种专注从容满足的状态本该是我们的常态。就是远古时代的狩猎者就是凭借高度敏锐的直觉和反应力生存。现代生活我们被各种欲望和焦虑绑架，变得迟钝困惑。老子说了一句话，就是大巧若拙，大辩若讷。 大家可以理解这句话是不是跟我们泰勒今天所讲的内容一样？那咱们下一节课呢会讲高能量的表达方式，人呢是怎么被对话中的能量、语调、节奏所影响的。如果对这节课有疑惑的兄弟们啊，可以在蓝图 2.0 的研讨会交流群里面提出交流和讨论，以便你能够最大化的吸收这门课啊。咱们也在社群里给兄弟们准备了就是关于泰勒精选的自己在读的一些电子书啊，这些书呢对于认识女性有着非常大的一个帮助，作者对女性的理解呢也是非常深刻的啊。想要的同学直接在群里找社长领取就可以了。那么我们下节课见。